the office of sales. So just have a look. So this one is the meeting room. Then we have the open space office. So this one is the certificate of sales. And here's my place for working. Thank you. Hello, my name is Ngoc Tien. Also English name is Tien. Studying Master of Business Administration Professional Practice in Charles Darwin University. Today, I'm going to present about my placement in Southeast Asian livestock services during the last 12 weeks. In this presentation, I'm going to talk based on this outline. First of all is the introduction, then the organizational structure, some of my intros in the placement, the software that I have learned, the skills that I have acquired, some reflection on graduate attributes, some of my strength and weakness, and the strategy to overcome weakness, some of my achievement after completing the placement, and the conclusion. Southeast Asian Livestock Services is a livestock exporting company from Australia to Southeast Asian markets. It was founded in 1996 by John Course and Sig Parker. John had acquired more than 29 years of experience in the live trade, whereas Sig Parker was associated in the Northern Territory industry for more than half a century and had great knowledge, which was priceless in managing Australian operation. In 1997, the Asian currency crashed, caused a lot of export organizations go out of business. However, sales adjust its business model to adapt the client's modifying purchasing power. Since John was living and working in Southeast Asia, he had an outstanding insight of the culture and local currencies, so the company started to provide livestock to clients in their local currency. As a consequence, sales rate raised its market share essentially, and this enhanced the foundation of various relationships with clients until now. During the last 10 years, sales had delivered greater than 400,000 heads of cattle through the Southeast Asian market, establishing a strong and successful business relationship among local importers. In late 2017, sales announced a new partnership with Yara Corporation, a Singapore organization based. With a primary concentrate on growing Chinese consumer market, the new parent company aims to become the favored supplier of premium Australian products to Asia. In 2020, with the impact of the pandemic COVID-19, SEAL is struggling to overcome the challenge, but with strong enthusiastic white team with passionate on livestock and cattle, still operates smoothly. At the moment, SEAL's organizational structure is board of director as Yara Corporation based in Singapore. Kelvin Mulverhill is the director and general manager based in headquarters in Darwin, managing the whole company. Procurement purchasing department received the confirmation from sales and marketing department about the upcoming shipment, then contacting, finding, negotiating, contracting and buying the cattle from direct farmers or via livestock agent within Australia to fulfill the orders. Operation department arrange all the pre-export operation tasks and manage the process of loading cattle on the shipping date to make sure all cattle is loaded on board safely and under control. Finance department is located in Singapore, with mainly managed and controlled by the board of directors, but still assisting and supporting the operation of business in Darwin headquarters and reporting the cash flow and seeking the approval from the general manager. Sales and marketing department is in charge of confirming sales, keeping relationship with client, main contact points of all inquiries from client, and preparing all required documents for client side. My intern role sits in this department as a document officer. Compliance department needs to update all required documents to the Department of Agriculture, Water and Environment to make sure everything related to the shipment, submitting, noticing and getting approval from the department, and has to follow the compliance with the Australian standards for the export of livestock. My position is mentioned above is Commercial Documentation Officer under Sales and Marketing Department. The job scope of work of this position is, firstly, I need to prepare all required commercial documents for the export of livestock, including raising commercial invoice, preparing shipping documents such as bill of lading, manifest, packing list, weight certificate, marine insurance certificate, and certificate of origin. Preparation and lodgement of documentary letter of credit associated with the bank, lodgement of custom documentation, preparation and confirmation of export declaration number, preparation of credit notes, systematic filing of all source document, accounting support, following up and updating the profit and loss of shipments beyond the guidance of sales and marketing executive. When doing placement in sales, I have learned some new software. In the first week, I was trained to use cattle inventory management, especially used for livestock industry, which are LiveX and Taggers. LiveX is used for capturing livestock purchase order, whereas Taggers is used for tracking cattle tags from where they are bought from until when they are exported to overseas country. I also learned how to use MYOB, the accountant management software. Although I am used to study some technique before in university, but in this placement, I have a chance to practice more and apply more in real work. After this placement, I have acquired some particular skills for myself. First of all, I'm able to improve my communication skills. I'm able to communicate well with my colleagues who are all Australian working in agriculture for a long time. I'm also able to communicate with our clients in Southeast Asia, such as Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, and Vietnam. Since I'm Vietnamese, I have better communication with Vietnamese clients in local language, which makes me beneficial and valuable in this skill. Secondly, teamwork is another skill that I have acquired. Because my position is under Sales and Marketing Department, I also need to cooperate well with all the departments such as Purchasing, Operation, and Finance Department to make sure all the work operates well and under control. Thirdly, problem-solving skills is the most noticeable skill that I have learned from my mentor. Working in this industry, there are lots of problems happening every day. My mentor shows me how to solve each different problem with different solutions, with leading the best result in the quickest time to save money and save company resources. Fourthly, I also learned attention to details skill because my job is to do the commercial document, which is required everything need to be 100% exact, even the small things such as company name, address, quantity, and value. I need to fully concentrate when doing the task to make sure all the paperwork 100% correct. Finally, critical thinking is the last skill that I have learned from my mentor. He is a managing director of sales and has more than 20 years of experience in this industry. So before he makes any decision, he uses critical thinking to analyze the situation and come up with the best action for it. I have learned a lot from him after 12 weeks working together. I have applied a lot of knowledge from the course MBA in this placement, especially in this unit. Firstly is unit preparation for professional practice that I learned from the last semester. I was able to perform myself professionally and confidently in the workplace. I was well prepared and get ready carefully for this placement. Secondly, unit business economics is useful for me to understand the current Australian market situation in the export markets, specifically livestock industry. I am able to understand the demand of Australian beef in Asian markets and the supply ability of Australia farmers to fulfill the export livestock demand. Thirdly, the unit accounting for managers, I can apply to a substitute MYOB system in the organization to understand all the accounting transaction daily. I am able to read and understand the cash flow statement, income statement, and balance sheet of the finance department. Fourthly, unit communication, negotiation, and conflict resolution in organizational behavior helps me to prevent crisis communication as well as know how to solve the conflict in the workplace. In addition, emotional intelligence is well applied to control and cooperate well with other colleagues with different background and culture. Finally, the unit decision making helps me to understand why my mentor makes that decision to the organization to bring any benefit or not. From that, I can learn a lot from his mindset and actions, even though I am not the decision maker in the company now, but this observation will benefit me later on for my career path. After 12 weeks doing placement in sales, I have transformed from a naive person with only knowledge but lack of practical experience into a person with some certain experience and knowledge of the industry. I am able to apply my knowledge learning at university into real work life with real example and actual situation. I am able to communicate well with my Australian colleagues and also Asian clients. I learn lots of things from my mentor regarding decision making and able to evaluate which decision is good or bad for the organization. I have great responsibility on my task aside to make sure all the tasks need to be solved on time and nothing is missed. Also learn how to be flexible and when solving problems or doing tasks to make sure tasks need to be completed. I learned a lot regarding the leadership from my mentor. His transparent and straightforward style of leadership makes me feel easy to follow and understand what he wants easily in order to operate. As mentioned already, teamwork. I have learned a lot about teamwork from this placement. In terms of my strength, I am very careful when performing tasks or completing my assigned task. I double check twice to 3 times when doing anything to make sure everything is all correct and 100% exact. As mentioned above, one of my scope of work is preparing commercial document for client which required correctness so that I can be very careful when doing this kind of paperwork for client. Secondly, I have a strong learning ability for the things that I don't know. I am able to learn it quickly after being trained or taught, and also after being trained new things, I'm able to apply it into real case immediately. Thirdly, attention to details is another strength. One of my tasks is also working and cooperating with finance department and everything related to number needs to be details correct. Hence, I focus much on numbers and details of everything I've done. Finally, I have great flexibility and adaptability in the placement. I am flexible when solving problems and performing tasks. I will find the best way to complete my task with the high flexibility. I am able to adapt the workplace culture quickly and comfortably. I also have some weakness that I have reckoned during working in this placement. Firstly, is lack of industry knowledge and experience. It is my first time working in livestock and cattle industry, so I don't know much about livestock market, terms, operation, process, so that sometimes I feel lost when hearing other colleagues talking about this industry. In order to overcome this challenge, I need to read more about industry articles or news to update information. Also, I need to talk and ask more with my colleagues about the new knowledge or information. Secondly, I'm not familiar with Australian work culture, such as Australians use a lot of slangs when talking to each other. And as a foreign person, sometimes I can't catch up with their conversation and unable to understand them. Therefore, I need to talk more with my colleagues and learn more local slangs with them in order to communicate well, and also enjoy office lunch or dinner with colleagues more often to understand more Australian culture. Thirdly, I have a limited knowledge in accounting area, although because sometimes my mentor asks me to do some advanced accounting work and I am unable to complete it because it's far beyond my knowledge and experience. In order to overcome this, I need to read more accounting textbook and maybe study further accounting certificates such as CPA in order to enhance my accounting knowledge. Some of my achievements gained after 12-week placement. First of all, due to my enthusiastic and well-performing task, I have been offered a full-time position as commercial documentation officer in this organization after my semester end. Secondly, I improved my interpersonal skills a lot with enhancing logical thinking, decision-making skills, and professionalism at work. Thirdly, I am quite a good contribution to the business operation to make sure the organization operate well and smoothly. Fourthly, I earn good relationship with a great team and have new relationship with local people. Finally, I have much improvement on logical thinking and more maturity at work after displacement. In conclusion, displacement brings me a lot of benefit. First of all, it brings me the opportunity to work in an Australian company, which is the first time in my life. I am able to learn more from this opportunity. Secondly, I am able to learn different culture, such as Australian culture, which is more straightforward and open-minded environment. Thirdly, after displacement, I feel motivated to improve myself with those weaknesses and try my best to work hard to well deserve the new offer position. Finally, I also expand the relationship with my Australian colleague and Asian client. For the acknowledgement, I am thankful to Ms. Rubali, the unit coordinator for WIB 602 and WIB 603. I am so grateful for my mentor, Kevin Moverhill, the managing director of sales, who teach and guide me a lot of useful knowledge and experience. This is my reference. And thank you for watching this presentation.